Hello. It's still officially the day of surgery. I'm not sure what time it is now. I'm using my phone to make this video, but it's around 11:30. I got here at 7. I got the impression that I'd be the first one in. Like the wording from the surgeon said I'd be the first one in. He hinted at it. Didn't materialise that way. It got to about 10 and I'm like, do you have any ETA as to when this might be? And they were like, yeah, it's at 10:45. So why can't people tell me this stuff beforehand? So lots of sitting around waiting. I don't see myself sleeping at all today. I have, you know how they do your blood pressure for your arm with the thing wrapped around it? I've got them wrapped around my calves, and that's what the beeping is you can hear. It's just stopped working for some other reason, but it's basically blowing up around the calf and then contracting and blowing and contracting, and I guess that is to help with the circulation. When I try and sleep, I could be exhausted. I'm like, and you basically wake up because it's as if someone is like grabbing your calf, giving you a massage. It's enough to wake you up. But that's fine. So, enough for the preamble. Let's get to the real story. It's still a bit shaky in terms of what went down when, how, why, and what. But I remember going to the. I'm still a little loopy, not loopy by the way, I'm just a bit drowsy. That's the word, I'm after drowsy. Yes, I'm going to have to use that later. I'm not allowed to leave my bed. But yeah, I'm a little drowsy from the anaesthesia, so if I mumble words, you know why. But yeah, so I got to the anaesthesiologist's room like 10:45. There were like a handful of pleasantries, like, what do you do for a living? Nice to meet you. Suck on this. Yep, big deep breath, bang, gone. I probably spent conscious in that room about 20 seconds because they wanted me out for the count as quickly as possible. Which was fine with me. It didn't allow not that I had any pre-nerves at the time, but it wouldn't have allowed me to even collect my thoughts because they just did it so quickly. I was so ready. I did get annoyed afterwards. I spoke to the nurses here about 8 hours after the surgery was done, saying like, in my head what I planned to do was I thought I was going to be wheeled into the surgery, and like, oh, that's my phone. Oh, that's my phone falling for no reason whatsoever. Sorry for this room is quite hot. I've just found myself wearing nothing but this gown, and yeah. No, I thought I'd have an opportunity to like just say thanks to my surgeon, Ben Knight, at the BMI Clementine. Just say, thanks again, Ben. I'm sure you'll do a fantastic job, or good luck, Ben. And I hope you have a great Christmas, everybody. And that would be like my parting gift before I put under. Didn't get that chance. I'm very polite, you see. So, the next thing I remember is being in the recovery room. And I think I can do a really good analogy, or I can explain the pain quite well. This is how it felt to me. Back in the day, I've had a few sleepless nights, or not sleepless nights, I've had a few nights where I've had to go to bed as a kid. The age of, 7, 8, 9, and I've had to go to bed on an empty stomach, or I've had to skip. I've had an early lunch and then had not been allowed to have anything else, mainly through just poverty. Or, my mum used to have like 3 jobs trying to support that, so she could even do 3 meals a day for the kids. But there were some weeks when she could only do 1 job and the other 2 weren't available. that feeling of laying in bed in like your stomach not rumbling, hurting, really hurting. That's the nearest thing I can relate to in terms of the pain I experienced today. I laid there and I just thought, logically, that's my body telling me, what the duck have you done? It would appear you've taken away 80% of your stomach. So that was the initial shock I went into. I woke up and I wasn't already on meds. I get IV'd up when I get moved into recovery and woken up, and it takes a time, guys, for this stuff to work. And I came out of surgery into recovery. I was then woken up and it felt like there was not a single painkiller that had already been queued up for me before they wake me up. That's what it felt like. They may have done, but that pain was exclusive to the lower left side of my body. If you were to look at me face on, it would be like in my flab, above my left hip. And it's just hyper focused. I can't do both hands because this hurts to move the IV. But it felt like, I'll use a food analogy, like a burger bun, like the circumference of a burger bun, the size of a burger bun. That was the circumference of the pain. It was just all 100% in that one place. The gas was easy to deal with. I'm having it now while talking to you. And I know I'm on an IV now, but I've spent the best part of the last 5 or 4 hours not on an IV. I've just been sat in my bed walking around quite easily. So that's before people go, oh, well, you're drugged up, and but I have been drugged up at multiple points today, yes, I admit. But when I've not been drugged up, and I'm just sat here watching the one show, gas isn't an issue. It's an annoyance, it's not an issue. Looking back, I went through just now, watched a few videos of people who had documented their surgery, and I am legitimately of the opinion that certain people, or a lot of people maybe, are mixing up the initial shock and trauma of the body going through the removal of an organ, or the majority of an organ, and you have a lot of pain around that. They're mixing that up with a bloated feeling of gas. We've all been there, you've all been a bit bloated. That's the feeling. To me at least, if you watch my previous videos, I'm mentally strong, but I was screaming when I came out of surgery. And that's not to put anybody off. Tiny sips. Screaming, no I wasn't actually, that's a lie. I was laying there going, like that. Because it was like a contraction, it was like a throbbing pain, it was like, like that, just for hours and hours and hours. I was sat in recovery, and I was making so much noise. Everyone else was pretty silent. There were people in there who had legit shoulder surgeries and stuff. They weren't having weight loss, but I think what I potentially done, what I thought at the time was, I have been told how bad the gas is, and I've read up so much on the gas and how to deal with the gas, that that's been the one thing I look like I'm going to make sure I mentally deal with. I, in hindsight, wished I'd just mentally prepared myself for the fact that there, at least in my case, was excruciating pain from the actual operation being done. The gas was irrelevant. However, I spent the day sat in my chair like this. I had my tummy, I had all this off. I was sweating like mad. I was shivering and shaking from like shock. There were a nurse here and a nurse over there, either side of my bed, fanning me, because the room I was in, unfortunately, has like centralized heating, and it's just like I'm full blast. It is the depths of winter here, but I was close to just passing out from heat. So I had two ladies fanning me. I had like the doctor here, and then I had a consultant here, and they're looking at me like, what the fuck? And they're prodding my stomach, being like, does this hurt? Does this hurt? Does this hurt? I'm like, no. Like, okay, this is just normal. It'll go away in a few hours. I'm like, oh. I'm just thinking back to it. I'm like, oh, you just want it to be over. So I'm like, please, medication, please. And then there's like a 45-minute wait for medication, because when you're in recovery, they're authorized to just use whatever the fuck they need to get you stable. I need to try and move. When you sit in the same position for a long period of time, it hurts. Oh, let's see if I can cross my legs. Yes. Let me relocate my camera. Push this back a little bit. There we go. Something I noticed I was doing, by the way, out of habit, when I was in the recovery room and in a lot of pain, there'd be times when I get a bit of phlegm, and I wish I got told beforehand to look at that wind just from sitting up. That's just from sitting up. That was quite a bit of air gone there. Where was I? Yeah, basically the phlegm goes down the tube to your new stomach, and your new stomach's like, what the fuck? I didn't agree to this. That was one of a few times I had like real nausea. Like, it subsided. I've not had any nausea since, but yeah, legitimately. I'm going to show you my scars, by the way, in a minute. So yeah, I got back to my room from recovery. After about 2 hours of being in recovery, they were politely trying to move me on. And I thought, you know what? I'd quite like to text my mom and let her know how I got on. Because the doctor does call, like as soon as the surgery over, and say, that went fantastically well, don't worry about it. But no one had an update or heard from me for hours afterwards. I had lots of text messages being like, hello? Got to the point where my mom rang the hospital to ask like if I'm even out of recovery yet, because it had been like over 2 hours. But yeah, I came back here. The pain was just immense at that point. In my head, I sort of thought that, like, yes, much like let's just say you break a leg or something, or you snap a vertebrae or whatever, like, there is painkillers on purpose that are so strong they take that pain away. I could not believe that so much time elapsed between me quite clearly being in excruciating pain to actually feeling like it was even semi under control. they were pumping me full of like the highest grade tramadol. That was like when they kept pumping that in. Oh, sorry guys. When they kept pumping that in, that was very helpful. And I'd suddenly go from having immense pain to no pain for about 5 minutes, and then it would just start again. But enough about that. I'm not going to harp on about that. Look, that's part and parcel of this. I just lay in bed then after that pain, I felt the pain subside by about 6 o'clock p.m. Oh, it's moved. Actually, 7 o'clock it was, I remember now, because I was watching TV. The pain completely subsided from that at about 7 p.m, so that was about 5 hours after. The consultant came in, my actual, not consultant, the surgeon came in to check how I was getting on. And I said, oh, a lot of pain. And then I found out I had like that hernia removed. I don't know what it's called, I haven't Googled it, like hineal hernia or something like that. It's something that basically needs removing to get this shit done in certain people. I don't know enough. I've seen it mentioned a few times in videos for other people. He went, that would have contributed towards that pain. I'm like, oh, cool. Had I not brought this up to you, I might not have never known. But to be fair, my Ben was really good, and I was very stroppy at the time. So, yeah, I'm taking this all in my stride, as I said previously on previous videos. I have to slow down drinking, because I can already feel I'm probably going to go to the toilet sometimes doing this. And today I've probably had, in the last 3 hours, it's too painful to go and get the selfie stick, otherwise I would. I've probably had in total today about 5 of these. When I was going through that episode earlier, just being in immense pain, I was constantly on IV. Damn. I know that in about 2 hours or an hour and a half, they're going to do my blood tests or not blood tests, where they wrap the thing around your arm. What's that? Heart rate. So even if I do go to sleep now, I'm going to have like an hour, and I am actually exhausted, but I can see myself not sleeping very well at all the next like 2 days. Like half the issue is the amount of stuff they've got you connected to. It's not even the gas. I think I could go and sleep on my side now. And actually, on that note, let me show you. I'm sorry, skip forward the next 30 seconds if you don't want to see what my scars look like, but I'm going to show you. So yeah, fast forward now. Right, ready? You can see we have one here. There's another one just here, which is very similar to this one. There's one up here, and I'm yet to identify. Oh, there's one right around this corner you can't see. These are all glued together. No pain. And just rest my fingers on them. No, I don't feel shit. So that's quite nice. But yeah, I can definitely sleep on my right side and not be in pain. I'm just not going to risk it for now. I'm a side sleeper. I've got a pregnancy pillow at home that my stomach will like lean into. But yeah, I was feeling much better this afternoon, or this evening I should say. Watched the football even though I was really tired and I was just falling asleep. Watched Chelsea not win, that was funny. A lot of people said they've had, they were having mad buyer's remorse, like the nano, like as soon as they came out of surgery and they came to. I haven't had that yet. I think if I go home, like, and if this gas doesn't go away for like 6 months, I might, oh no, I don't think I'd buy as most hair. I'm sitting here now and like I can feel the mild pain going through my chest and my stomach, but it's not enough to stop me going to sleep. So yeah, I've basically been told in no uncertain terms that because of the amount of pain. Oh, by the way, when I told you I had like the consultant here and the 2 nurses like flapping away to keep me cool, the look on of bewilderment on the consultant's face as to what the fuck is going on. And when he's like, yeah, you could hear him confer with another doctor, and he said something along the lines of, well, he was asked like, what's your assessment? He's like, I don't know. And then you're like, what? Because I will admit, laying there, and minutes after the doctor going like, I ain't got a Scooby-Doo what this is. I'm then worrying that I've already had like a major leak or a hemorrhage, or there's something catastrophically wrong, because if the doctor can't work out what it is, then we're a bit screwed, aren't we? I have to keep moving positions. It also helps with gas. So I'm now going to cross my legs, add a bit of pressure to my stomach area, and kind of sit up. Apologies for the nudity. Pro tip from Ben, keep sitting up. I'm like actually leaning forward from my pillow behind me, it's not. Right, so they haven't got me to do walking today. I have done some walking today, regardless of them saying not to do it. I got help to the toilet. I emptied my bowels, or I went for a piss, and they made sure I didn't collapse. Like I was very Bambi on ice, because it was the first time I left the bed, because I was just being pumped with so many painkillers all at one time. I then made a point of saying I'm going to hold on to like my handrail, which is just down here, and I'm just going to do the loops around my bed. I'm just going to walk. There's nothing else really to hold on to. I'm just going to, I'm not saying a shitload, do like 10 times around my bed. It was about 5 to 7 minutes. The amount of gas release was beautiful. Looking forward to doing even more walking tomorrow and get rid of this gas. There you go. But yeah, so far so good. I am looking forward to my stomach being 100% to the point where it's not, there isn't any achy pain coming in, but I still can't feel it. Earlier I put my hand on my stomach where I told you that like burger bun circumference pain patch was. Nothing. And when the consultant came back in the evening, he got here quite late, just to check in on me before he went home. He was like, that's that pain over with, you're not having that pain again. Like, that's it done. Actually, it was my surgeon who said it. And I'm like, oh. I don't think you're lying to me. At no point have I been lied to by my surgeon. When he says it's gone, it's gone. We'll see. But yeah, I'm going to leave that video there. My next update will probably be my first night back at home. And then we'll do a week, a 2 week, a 3 week, a month, a 3 month, a 6 month, a 9 month, a 12 month, 2 year, and then wrap the channel up. I want to give people education. I wish I was able to watch this video before I had my surgery, just to prepare myself. And like what you need to do is like watch all the other videos as well, and then just cross-reference who has similar issues, who has abnormal issues, or the percentage of them, just so you're like mentally prepared for what might lie ahead for you. Obviously everyone's different. Loads of people have issues with gas. I didn't. There's quite a few people on YouTube who didn't. But yeah, I hope this has been educational. I'm going to go piss in my jug.